Well, Thanksgiving has come and gone, and that means you've probably been munching on leftovers from the holidays. But are you storing those foods properly, and do you know the signs and symptoms of illnesses like food poisoning? Joining me now to discuss food safety and sickness is Dr. Kishan Patel from IU Health Arnett. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's begin with those leftovers. In my house, we've certainly been moving through those, but how long is it safe to keep the turkey, the ham, the potatoes, the salads in your refrigerator and continue to eat those?
That's a good question. Most of the time, different foods have different expiration date, especially the cooked food. You want to make sure that when you are storing it, that you're storing it in a proper environment. Leaving it out on the counters for a few hours is okay, but beyond a couple hours, you want to make sure that you get it in a container in the fridge. You want to make sure that the temperatures in the fridges are properly set, ideally to less than 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If you want to freeze it, then you want to make sure the freezer temperature is at least below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Just because the food looks good and smells good does not always mean that it's safe to eat, but different foods will last a little bit longer as long as you're using proper ways to store it.
So if we had Thanksgiving turkey, it's probably about time that we move on to something else.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let's talk about food poisoning, because that's always something you don't know if you're getting sick, if it's food poisoning. What are some of the signs and symptoms we should look forward to?
So food poisoning in general is basically when you ingest, eat food that are contaminated with microorganisms. Now, these can be bacteria such as Salmonella, Listeria, or E. coli. It could also be viruses such as hepatitis A or even norovirus, which is one of the more common ones. Or it could be even parasites. There are over 200 different types of microbes that can cause or lead to food poisoning. So different microbes, when ingested, causes different symptoms. Some can lead to symptoms within a few hours of ingestion. Some can lead to symptoms within a few days or a few weeks. So it just depends on which one you're ingesting. But in a nutshell, the common symptoms are nausea, vomiting. You can have diarrhea, whether it's bloody or a watery diarrhea. You can have abdominal pain, mild or even severe abdominal pains, and fevers. You can have anything over 100.4 or 101 degrees with food poisoning. So
when should we call the doctor, or when should we, or what can we do at home? How do we know when to go or when to stay home and try some home remedies?
Some of the milder symptoms are self-limiting, proper hydration, fluids, rest, a little bit of Tylenol if you have fevers. Those should be enough in handling some of the milder cases. Now, if you have a severe case, if you have persistent vomiting and diarrhea, you can't keep anything down, you have bloody diarrhea, high fevers, or even severe abdominal pain, that's probably a good time to call your physician or go to your local walk-in urgent care clinic so they can adequately evaluate you whether you need further treatments, whether you need IV fluid hydration or not.
Good things to remember. All right, Dr. Patel, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.